Thank you. It's October 7th in the evening, Motzei Shabbat. My country is on fire. My beloved homeland is in a situation we couldn't even imagine. I am in charge of 19,000 volunteers in our country, National Civic Service Authority. These young men and women serve the state of Israel in education, welfare, health, national security, the foreign ministry, and other governmental agencies. I understand that evening that I have to replan, reorganize, and quickly adapt the whole system to serve the national resilience and the urgent needs of the state of Israel. We must be there for our country and its citizens. During those most difficult days, when the entire nation of Israel was in deep distress and grief, when we were still burying our dead, the mayor of New York City spoke up in support of Israel. There wasn't a dry eye in our country when we heard his warm words that came straight from his heart to Jews around the world. We thank Mayor of New York, Mr. Eric Adams, for standing for Israel. I am honored to be here with all the honorees, the Besheva group, Dudu Saada and Dudi Finkler, and all the rest. And as they say in Israel, Mechubadai Kulam. My partners in the Shiרות לאומי, Arit Ansbacher-Lanzman, Chairwoman of Batami, and Yaron Lutz, Director General of Aguda L'Itnadvut. And our most special guests, I hope they got here from the parade, Batami, Shiרות לאומי volunteers and diaspora. This year, as in every year, you are here hand to hand, heart to heart, with our brothers and sisters in the Jewish communities, working hard to strengthen the bond, shared values between Israel and diaspora. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of standing at the helm of this amazing network of volunteers who have taken a year or two in this central time of their lives to serve their beloved country in the framework of national civic service. More than 19,000 young women and men from Metula to Eilat, from Jerusalem to Shfar'am and Bet El, from all parts of Israeli society, Jews and Druze, ultra-Orthodox and Bedouins, Muslim and Christians, young adults from the entire Israeli spectrum, young adults who are united and proud to be in the forefront of civilian strength and resilience. In all times, especially in war, there are two major factors that together build our country's strength and resilience. The first factor is our military power, our ability to fight back and win, to protect ourselves against our enemies. Our heroic soldiers on the front are doing amazing work, even as we speak, protecting the state of Israel. Our soldiers do their utmost to fight our vicious enemy while avoiding civilian casualties. We all pray for their success, their health, and their victory, as well as the recovery of all our injured. We pray together with all of Israel for the fast return of our hostages who are being held by Hamas. May they all return safely to their homes and to their families. Our hearts are in captivity together with them, every day, every hour. So the first factor is the IDF and security. The second factor is our civilian resilience. The strength of our home front, the backbone of the Israeli people. The Shiרות לאומי network stands proud on home front and gives its all for the good of the state of Israel and citizens. As I mentioned before, in a number of quick operational decisions, we adjusted the whole framework to the new situation in the war. For example, a major project we created together was helping displaced communities during their long stays in the hotels that took them in. 550 שירות לאומי volunteers were placed in these hotels, whose major purpose was to give a stable and dependable hand and heart to children who had left their homes in the south and in northern Israel. I will not forget the faces of those children when I visited in Eilat during the first few weeks of the war. It was heartwarming to see them jump with joy when they saw that Shirut Leumi volunteers came back again, day after day, to be there with them in happy, but also in times of difficulty, stress, and emotional turmoil. 19,000 volunteers who contribute 38 million volunteers hours every year. I'll say that again. 38 million hours of young hands and big hearts who give their all for their country. What amazing strength and power Shirut Leumi contributes to the national well-being of Israel. David Ben-Gurion, the man who declared the state of Israel, wrote a book that sits on my desk in my office in Jerusalem. It serves me as a compass and lighthouse, especially at these days. In 1947, he wrote, "The youth's mission, as well as every good person in this country, is to increase the light, to do a little more than what the country requires of him. An action that has real meaning is a positive action, not only preventing the evil, but doing good yourself in all your creativity capacity." This is our mission and our values in national service. Now this year, Shirut Leumi in the diaspora was a tremendous challenge. 150 Shirut Leumi volunteers serve in diaspora here in North America and South America and Europe through Bat Ami and Aguda L'Itnadvut. When war broke out, there was no Israeli that didn't want to pick himself up and return home to Israel, to be with their family, with their brothers and sisters in arms. Our diaspora young volunteers stood proudly in their designated places. They did not give up on their mission, which is enhancing the flame of Jewish and Israeli unity, the continuity of Hebrew education, strengthening the bonds with Israel, and promoting Aliyah. All that, and only 19 years old. En kamochem. Three of the young volunteers who are serving here in North America lost a dear and beloved member of their family during the horrific war in Gaza. Avia Ganut, Zichrona Livracha, sister of Aniam, Yonatan Luber, brother of Michal, Evyatar Cohen, father of Adas Cohen. They all returned to Israel for the burial of their dear ones, sat Shiva, embraced their families, and came right back to resume their service with a deep understanding that diaspora Jewry needs them here now more than ever, with the concerning increase of anti-Semitism and the basic Jewish empathy for the situation in Israel, real arvut hadadit. I am amazed and proud of their tremendous commitment, and I am happy to announce that Hadas Cohen from Bat Ami, serving in the Hebrew Academy in Miami, will receive a Commendment of Excellence from President Herzog in a ceremony that will take place in the President's residence in the beginning of July. Dear and honorable friends, I will close my remarks with a story that is for me very significant, especially in these days. After parading for Israel here today, I reminded myself last month I had the honor to lead a delegation of 50 Shirut Leumi young women and men on an amazing journey during which we participated in the March of the Livings in Poland. So significant this year. 80 years ago, my grandfather, Avraham Zeifman, was in the death march with only rags to his back. Surely he thought that he was among the last Jews in the world he almost lost hope. 80 years later, we all marched in with a wonderful group of men and women draped in Israeli flags, marching with love and unity, Israeli pride and Jewish strength and courage, thankful for the miracle that is called the State of Israel. We recognize that we live in the vibrant land of Israel, defending ourselves. Our delegation of 50 Shiרות לאומי volunteers reflect the mosaic of Israeli society and represent the entire spectrum, Jews and non-Jews alike, all committed to never again. The Shiרות לאומי volunteers who marched together with me in Poland, along with all our Shiרות לאומי volunteers, both in Israel and in diaspora, fill me, and I hope fill all of us, with optimism for our people's future. Please God, we will continue to flourish in our beloved country, while ever deepening our roots to our land and history. At these complicated times, working with 19,000 young people in Israel, I am optimistic that as a nation and as a people, we shall overcome. Am Israel Chai. Thank you.
Thank you.